Welcome to Java. It's October 3rd, 2024, and it's Thursday. So thank you very kindly for joining me. We've got quite a few things to discuss today, mostly regarding tokenization, what's going on in the digital currency world, as well as last night, what has happened globally that is affecting the markets this morning. So with this, let's get started. So as always, we'll start with our main risk indicators. The MMRI now rose a significant amount overnight. What's going on? The 10-year yield as well as relative strength of the dollar, both gaining strength. Now, this put pressure on the markets yesterday and looks to be pressuring the futures. There was a bit of a drop, and this is mostly global tensions. Now, we had Israel basically bombed several areas in Beirut, and as they did this, they took out more officers, basically, they're claiming from Hezbollah. Hopefully, this will kind of calm down soon. But what this is doing is basically spiking the price of oil, creating these tensions, and doing a bit of distortion with the risk carry trades. So with this, we've got the fear greed meter still in greed territory. Even with this, has retraced a bit, but still have retailers that are pouring into the stock markets. Now, we're expecting larger job numbers on Friday, but this market is still greedy. So we are looking at correction buys in retail, basically buying the dip. So we've got the larger money, and now the latest one that we've heard is Apple. So higher up CEOs in Apple selling now large amounts of shares. That price is seeing a little bit of pressure today, but we're watching some of the larger money moving into cash positions. Now you have to think about why this is going. So even bonds moving out of these, which is what is making that yield price go up. So they're expecting some hits in the market. We don't know when, not financial advice, but that's what the large money is doing at this moment. We are seeing futures kind of looking at price pressures likely today. We had European markets lower this morning. And as I was saying, the oil price is spiking, energy stocks up, and this was mostly on those missile strikes. Now, we had another story come out yesterday. This was Bank of America. They had an outage. A lot of customers that were going in saying that trying to get into their bank accounts, they saw they had a zero balance, caused some panic there. A lot of this is already resolved, and I expect it to be resolved for this time. However, this is a prime example of why you would still have your money in the bank. If you have any more than what you need to pay your bills, I don't know what to tell you. Maybe you're new here, but banks are a large issue. If you're trusting these banks to hold your money, it may not last long. They've got what they call bail-ins, so just another warning with that. Okay. Calendar today. We're expecting jobless claims, ISM, and then a couple of Fed speakers, but really with the larger market mover might be tomorrow, because this will kind of dictate what the Fed is looking at as far as rate cuts moving forward. Again, this is the inverse of the rate hikes. Now we're looking at the amount of rate cuts. They're looking between quarter point or half point again in the markets. I think it's going to be a little bit easier. They could shock the markets, but depending on what they do. Now, we had US hiring in ADP data rebounding after 5 months of easing. So that's the story, that all of a sudden there are a lot more jobs available. And I don't know that their numbers are necessarily correct. What I see basically is jobless and unemployment in general, true unemployment rising. Okay. So with this, we've also got the port strike is ongoing. We just want to keep an eye on this. This story, how to prepare your pantry and fridge for this strike. Really, you should already be prepared if you've been listening to this. If you haven't, then make sure you start looking at some of those staples. If you have questions about this, feel free to either leave a comment or email me. My contact information is below if you need help with this. So with this, I want to mention the sun unleashed a huge solar flare. This just happened last evening. So they're saying we're on aurora alert. Um, so basically, it's not anything that is huge danger, but a CMA, what they call a coronal mass ejection, it is headed towards Earth in the direction. A lot of times these go off, but they go off into random space, so they're not a big deal. But what this means, large geomagnetic storms over the next few days, they're expecting between the 3rd and the 5th. Now, first off, we get beautiful, basically aurora borealis. But secondly, radio wave signal disruption. So basically, cell service, probably some disruption, communications, and transportation. So just to kind of prepare you for that. So I've got an interesting graph up. This is basically Gen X is the largest year-over-year decrease in discretionary spending through August 2024. This kind of shows the measuring up. Gen X is the largest, with baby boomers still has some discretionary spending, and Gen Z. Now, basically, there's a lot of credit card use, credit that they are the largest spenders right now. And Gen X, what's going on? They are realizing they are basically hitting retirement age, have to look forward to that, and they have no savings. They also basically run out and are one of the largest hit in basically the inflation sectors. They're trying to make up for that. So a few other things, the payment space is really heating up. So moving towards tokenization, we've got banks joining SWIFT digital asset trials in 2025. Now, SWIFT is basically the interlink between all of the digital asset landscape as well as digital currencies. They are the Western version. They are leveraging their position basically to interlink these separate networks as well as this tokenization and fiat currencies. So they are looking at being the global overrun to basically seamlessly transact using either digital assets, that's large terminology, and currencies along with traditional forms of value. Now, digital assets is expanding. And what do I mean by that? That's what this is, digital asset Canton network tokenizing literally everything. But with this, they're starting with gold, Eurobonds, and gilts. So this is European debt, basically treasuries, that we're looking at this expansion now. After the United States treasuries, they're expanding to collateralize more bonds, gold, speaking about different assets that they're going to expand to, even data, meaning personal data. They're tied in with the World Gold Council, and they're also basically talking about, in the context of Canton, they're talking about uh, the the books and records of all of these transfers. So with this, I want to go into basically the people paying a huge price for their genetics information. Now, behind all of this, we've got the two large companies that are collecting these quietly. The first is BlackRock. They are building their own tokens to use collateralism on this network, and also Blackstone. Now, Blackstone acquiring Ancestry.com, which has basically DNA. And then this other company called DeSci, Decentralized Science. And they're trying to basically decentralize owning all of this. So moving forward, again, we've got all of our personal information that is moving towards these blockchains and to be traded on a market. Okay, moving forward, I would like to hit on Ripple in specific cryptocurrencies, because cryptocurrencies got hit in the past couple of days. We've got Gary Gensler basically with the US SEC, Securities Exchange Commission, still going at these legal battles with Ripple Labs. Now they are looking at building their payments business And they're going to be tying in more with the Middle East as well as Southeast Asia, getting support from Dubai and Singapore, as well as India, because basically the US is, for whatever reason, attempting to suppress them and get their stronghold in here. Now, they've got a hold in the back end of this that is not being let out as public use or public knowledge, basically. They will when the time is right. Now, with this, we've got Visa and MasterCard, two of the largest, basically with the big banks. All of these payments, they're known for credit cards, but really expanding the debt and globally, because they are the largest global, right now, conversions of foreign currencies. So with all of this, basically, we've got Visa is also acquiring payment security company called Featurespace. And with this, it's artificial intelligence powered payment protection company. And they're just basically moving onto the blockchain with artificial intelligence, identification, tying in with social networks, and then also currencies and currency exchange. So we are heading toward global one currency very quietly in the background. So I just want to bring these up. So with this, all of these tensions that are going on in the Middle East, causing a lot of ripples through the market. So just basically urging caution in this volatility. Could come basically out of nowhere again. So with this, I wish you all a green trading day, wonderful day in general. Thank you for being here. And until I see you again, stay free.